And welcome back to 726 Mountain Home. I'm here with Dr. Charles Osgood with Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Welcome.
Well, thanks for having me on the show.
So we were talking a little bit before we came on, and you wanted to kind of highlight on sciatica.
Sciatica, it's a big problem, and it truly is a pain in the rear end.
Yeah.
A big one, and it's something that is fully correctable with chiropractic care. In fact, we have great success with working with the nerves in the lower back that control the sciatic nerve, which is where most of the time a problem with a sciatic nerve is going to originate, is with the lower back issues. So you have discs in the lower back, which are the cushions between each of the vertebrae, and that's what keeps the pressure off of the nerve that controls the whole lower half of the body. And so if you have any excess pressure from maybe bad discs or injuries you've had in the past, what tends to happen is over time those openings between the vertebrae get thinner and thinner, and then you start getting, first of all, you'll probably start getting pain across the back. Then you'll start having it creep down one leg or the other leg, and it can even affect both sides at sometimes. So yeah, it's something that we see on a pretty regular basis. If you have a job where you're sitting a lot, you'll put more pressure on the discs of the lower back, so you'll get more compression of those discs, and then you'll start to get more pain and pressure coming down those nerves in the back of the legs. So it's something that we treat with not only chiropractic adjusting, but we also use a form of traction therapy to try to get the disc to open up. And when you do the traction on it, it will actually rehydrate that disc and get the pressure off. And if you do it a few times, then it will get to where it will stay off of that nerve, and then the sciatica starts to go away. There's a little tiny muscle in the rear end called the piriformis muscle, and it's a little wedge-shaped muscle, and it goes right across the sciatic nerve. Anytime you get too much pressure on the nerves in the lower back, it makes that muscle just tighten up across that nerve, and that's when you get the pain down the leg. So several different things that we use to treat that. One of them is some traction therapy along with adjusting. Sometimes we'll use massage therapy and even ultrasound therapy as well. We have all of those things in the office that we can utilize for that. A lot we can do for it. So the main thing is if you're having issues at all with lower back, it can tend to start to travel down one leg or the other. So especially if you're having issues with sciatica itself, come in, let's take some pictures, and they'll see if it's something that we can tackle, because usually it is. Pictures, we take x-rays and we do a nerve scan. It's only $37 to come in and have us do an evaluation on it. You've been through that, so you know how that works. And you actually had sciatica as well.
Yeah, I actually, I've weightlifted most of my life and have been active in sports or what have you.
Yeah.
And I never knew that I needed to stretch or I needed to, all that working out, my muscles get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter.
Right.
And, like what you said, those discs get closer and closer together. And, like I've said it before, when I hurt mine, I was doing nothing but just bending over to pick something up.
Yeah, usually it's the simplest thing that it triggers it, basically. Bending over to pick something up, or in the shower, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, what was your experience when you came in?
With my experience, of course, we came in, you did a scan on me, and then you kind of set me up on a plan. And a lot of people might not know this, but chiropractic's not just a one-time fix all. It takes a while to get that relief and get that spread out.
Right.
So you set me up a plan, and after a while, I started feeling better. My range of motion got better, and
then you went to a maintenance.
Right. Yeah, maintenance.
Which I think is honestly the most important thing that you can do with chiropractic care, and it's the biggest thing that people miss out on, because typically when it's out of sight, it's out of mind for folks. Once they start getting it resolved, then they just stop coming in. And that's okay, and it lasts for a while. But then if you don't maintain it, it's just like a car that's not maintained. Something's going to break. And so a maintenance adjustment every few weeks or so, depending on your particular problems, will tell you what would be the best for you as far as maintenance goes. But if you do that, it keeps it in so much better shape long term, and you don't have to worry about you messing something up if you overdo something, you know.
Right. So in turns you got to check the oil of your car. You know,
Right.
You can't just keep driving it after a while. Even though hey, my car's running fine.
Right.
You still need to get that oil change and check the tire pressure and what have you.
Yeah. Body needs maintenance, just like it's a well-oiled machine too.
Right.
And so if it is improperly aligned and you run it like that for so long, it's going to wear on certain parts like the disc structures, and it's going to wear improperly on them, and then you start to have a problem. And then we have to come back in the office and we have to do the whole thing over again, where we have to realign it and get it to where the pressure's off again. So that's why I highly recommend, once a person is in good shape, once we get them there, a good maintenance dose keeps it there. And it's an investment in time and money, and if you want to keep that investment in good shape, a good maintenance dose is the thing to do.
Right.
So,
right.
And that's pretty much how it works when it comes to sciatica problems. If you can come in, we'll evaluate it, we'll take the x-rays, we'll see where the problem is coming from, and then we'll design a plan for you based on what we see, and we'll get it resolved, tell you how long it's going to take to resolve it, and then set you up on a treatment plan basically. And then once we have it in good shape, it's your choice to do a maintenance and keep it in shape after that. And a lot of folks do that because what a lot of folks find too is they feel a whole lot better when they're adjusted. You come in, you get adjusted, and you feel like you can stand up straighter, things are moving like they should, and just working
Rotate.
better.
I know one thing. First thing I noticed was that my neck, I can turn around more. You never notice it.
In traffic, you can actually look.
Yeah, I was sitting there driving, and when I looked around to check my blind spot, I'm like, man, I didn't know I could.
Right, you can actually move it, yeah. Whereas a lot of times when you get so stuck, you're having to turn your whole body. Yeah. And so that is one of the benefits from it, just increased flexibility and increased motion. So I highly recommend it. If anybody has any problems, don't let it go, and don't just take the medications. Don't take the drugs hoping that, hey, it's going to resolve itself, it's going to go away. If it's a functional problem, it's not going to go away.
Right.
It's only going to come back, and usually come back with a vengeance.
Yeah. Why take drugs when you can do something natural?
Yeah.
This is a natural form of.
Yeah. And it improves the function, and the overall function. When it's improved, the whole body works better, and you actually have increased immune system function, nerve function everywhere, and the whole body just works better. So, highly recommend it. If you having any problems, give us a call.
Or if you do like me and you bend over in the shower and try to
that's all it takes sometimes.
Pump the soap and you just
that's all it takes. That's all it takes sometimes, and it's the simplest things that can happen that way. But call us at 425-4424, and one of our staff will be glad to see if they can get you an appointment to get in the office. You can also visit our website, mountainhomechiro.com, and a lot of good information there, a lot of good things on what chiropractic can do for folks, whatever issues you may be having, talks about any of those things. And if you don't see an answer to your questions, go to the top of the webpage. There's a link to send me an email, and it comes to me directly. So you can, I just hit my microphone, that's good. So you can, send me a question if you have a question, and, I answer them directly. It just goes right to my inbox.
And I know, when you do come in the office, you'll get set up on that email system. You send out, regular emails all the time, and some of it's really
good stuff.
Neat information.
Yeah, good stuff about health, basically.
Right.
Health issues of how chiropractic affects your health and things like that. So, hope to see anyone in the office that would like to come in and just see what we can do for them. And like I said, if you're not sure and you want to ask me a question, the website's a good place to go for that.
Well, Charles, thanks for coming by. Anything else you want to mention?
I think that's probably about it. I think we wrapped it all up with sciatica.
All right. Well, if you've got problems with sciatica, give Dr. Charles Osgood a call at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. And thanks for joining us today, and we will see you again next week.